Yo, goons, what's good? Back with another Goldlewis guide. Today we're going to be talking about how you car cancel with Goldlewis, or dash cancel. They're kind of the same thing. And I also wanted to go into a little bit about why this is really strong and very important for Goldlewis in Season 2. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So if you've been living under a rock or you're new to the game, in Season 2, all characters now can actually dash cancel their close slash and their 5k. So what that looks like is if you do a close slash or 5k on hit or on block and then press dash, you'll get these little flames behind you. And it turns out that you can actually input specials during that time to get that little extra distance that you're getting from that initial dash. Not that entire distance, but a good amount extra if you do your special in the window where you're getting those flames essentially. And some characters have a very hard time doing this off of certain moves. For example, Ram's Rekka, I believe, is quarter circle forward P. But if you want to dash cancel her Rekka, you have to do a dash cancel and then quarter circle forward P. But because her Rekka is quarter circle forward P, if you don't do that within a really, really tight window, you'll get like the next hit of the original Rekka instead of dash canceling and getting a new Rekka. But luckily on Goldlewis, because he doesn't have a Rekka, he doesn't have that kind of problem, you can actually buffer the Behemoth Typhoon like in a pretty large window. A lot of people have this misconception about car canceling that what you want to do is like do the input first and then press dash and H at the same time. For example, on Goldlewis, that is not at all how I do it. What I do is I close slash and then tap dash, and then within what seems like a pretty generous window, like a decent amount of frames, you can just buffer your behemoth motion in that and then press H. You don't need to press dash and H at the same time. Don't do that. Close slash, dash, behemoth motion, H. That's like the method for doing this, right? And I'll show you a little bit of what it looks like with my timing, and hopefully you can follow along with my inputs at the bottom. So there would be close slash Kara 268. And I just want to note that there are like different timings on the Kara cancel. You can get the car cancel early or later into your dash cancel for a little more or extra distance or time between your close slash and your BT hitting the opponent. And you can also, of course, car cancel any of his BTs. I'm just showing it with 268 because I think that's a pretty easy one to practice. But this technique is very important with all of them, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But just for your timing reference, here's what it looks like done properly on a few of the other BTs. Right, so that should give you an idea of how to car cancel properly. Again, I will explain one more time what I'm doing here, and I'll press the buttons very slowly so you can follow along. It's close slash, and then dash cancel, and during that time I like to buffer my BT. Like right after I press the dash button, I'm doing my BT, and then I press H as soon as I'm done with the motion. The timing is not that strict, okay? Once you practice it for a while, you will be doing these very consistently. However, sometimes you can mess up the car cancel and you'll just dash at the opponent. In that case, I just wanted to point this out really quickly. I would definitely recommend going for 2P or grab because those are going to be your fastest options. Although just note that if you do this on accident, you're always going to be punishable unless you RC here. Next, let's explain why it's important to car cancel on Goldlewis and why, in my opinion, it's so good. So I just want to say that not all Goldlewis players are in agreement with me on how good this is. I definitely think that this is like crucial to current Goldlewis, and one of the main reasons why is because if the opponent is not FDing, right? Oh, not instant block. If the opponent is not FDing, close slash 268, this will be a true string, right? And it won't catch mashing, and it won't catch like, you know, pretty much anything like that. And more importantly, if you don't car cancel, you're not in range here to go for a close slash, and close slash is frame 7. However, if you do car cancel here, you're often in range for a close slash, right? Remember how I said that there are different types of car cancels and different distances? You kind of want to relax the timing a little bit so you're not car canceling as soon as possible to make sure that you're getting the close slash distance here. And that can be a little bit tricky. But if you do that, I mean, look at how much extra pressure you get. You get another close slash car 268. So you can see if I just run up to him and 268, it isn't going to frame trap him. He's just going to block. It's going to be a true string. But if I do Kara 268, especially with the later timing on the car cancel, you can get a frame trap here, especially if they're FDing. So you can see there, I get a frame trap with the late timing and a little bit of distance, right? If you're right next to them, still if you're car canceling, you're not going to hit the frame trap, but then your close slash is going to frame trap because you're going to be at least +3. Usually more than that, I think, actually, because of the little bit of delay added from car canceling. Soul's mashing a 3-frame button here, and I'm using a 7-frame button, and I'm winning, right? So that means I'm at least +5 here. He's getting counter hit. And normally, if you're like point blank and you do a 268, not only are you going to be pushed back further, but you're going to be less plus than if the 268 hits later into its hitbox, which it does by adding that artificial delay by car canceling. So that is so strong. Being able to get frame traps where you can't normally, and putting yourself in a position where you're closer to the opponent. A lot of the time, you're going to be able to just continue pressure for a really long time by car canceling if the opponent isn't FDing, right? This technique just puts even more pressure on the opponent to FD, and it's better when they're FDing versus if you are not car canceling when they're FDing. So you can see the pressure gets pretty ridiculous if they're not FDing and you're utilizing car canceling properly. The only problem with this is that you're going to need to practice the consistency. So one way that I like to practice car canceling and that really helped me get it down is the following string. Now something like that. That way you will practice car canceling with all your important behemoth typhoons, and you'll also practice the timing on 5k and close slash. So the timing on car canceling 5k and close slash is not the same. It's tighter on close slash, but there's also an earlier window for you to do it. So on 5k you need to wait a little bit, even though that window's a little bit larger. Also note that a lot of the time you're going to be interruptible if you're car canceling 5k, but a lot of the time you're also going to be getting frame traps where you wouldn't normally. So another reason why car canceling is so important on Goldlewis is with the 862. So if you didn't know, close slash 862 can be FD'd and then backdash, and actually a lot of Goldlewis pressure can be affected by this, right? Same with close slash 268. Obviously close slash 842 is not going to work. However, car canceling can help remedy this, and this is very powerful because you're getting an overhead here that can also catch backdash, which is one of the chief ways to play around Goldlewis. You can see right there, I actually hit Soul for trying to backdash. Now note that if you try this one too fast, it's going to miss, so you definitely want to practice hitting that later window of the car cancel. And even I'm not, perfectly consistent with this one, but a bit of practice will go a long way. And now just to show that close slash 268, if you car it will also catch backdash. And there you have it. And in the corner, I think this can lead to pretty big damage. So I would say that's a lot better than getting your 268 backdashed, right? Yet another reason why car canceling is so important is if you're playing Goldlewis properly, his 248 is actually amazingly good in pressure. It's like an instant low, and you can really start to condition the opponent to be afraid of backdash and overheads by using your car 862. And that's where 248 comes in. So this is like an instant low essentially. It's like a 12 framer, and this will frame trap pretty much everything here. However, if I don't car cancel, close slash 248 completely whiffs, right? And a lot of opponents that are even quite proficient at playing against Goldlewis will not expect this one to be in range if they're FDing. And also, they won't be able to react. It's 12 frames. It's like an instant low, basically. And the whole theory behind playing Goldlewis's offense and why I think car canceling is so important is that you can condition the opponent to be afraid to mash or to backdash by using car 268. And once you've done that, then you can start mixing in your car overheads, right? And of course, you have to car cancel the 842 as well to make it connect on FD. If you don't, it won't work. Yet another reason why car canceling is so good. And all of these are going to lead you closer to the opponent with plus frames, which is always, always ideal on Goldlewis. Anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea of why it's important to car on Goldlewis. Of course, we do have other specials, but, car a gun, that's a meme. But car a drone actually isn't a meme. And let me show you why real quick. This is a very strong setup. So you can see that Soul got punished for trying to 5k me there. Now I'm going to set him to DP. And you can see Soul got hit. And off of a grab, lost more than half of HP. And of course, if they try any mashing here, they're going to get punished. What happens if he tries reversal super, for example? Look at that. He gets hit and we keep the corner with better Oki. Pretty strong, right? I'm just going to say with this setup, pretty much all the opponent can do is tech here. They can jump, but they cannot mash. They can't reversal super. They can't YRC because level 3 drone cannot be YRC. They will get hit. And that means they have to tech or jump. And if they jump, you're in a really good position because, of course, Goldlewis's BTs have such good frame data. If you hit an opponent while they're in the air with them, you can basically just juggle them up there by doing, 268 and 862 over and over until they get down, and you're going to get 2, 3, even 4 free BTs and be able to keep pressure once they land again. It's a very strong setup because of that reason. It kind of forces them to tech, and you get a free wall break if they don't. So it's a good round ender. But that's pretty much all the uses I can think of for car canceling. If you enjoyed this video, twitch.tv/me_Lulu to see me doing these to the poor, faceless warriors of Celestial. That's all from me, Goals. Till next time.